Okay, Chapter 9, we're going to be doing multiplying and dividing decimal numbers. Your learning objectives are, after completing this chapter, the student will be able to define the terms product, dividend, divisor, and quotient, perform multiplication with decimal numbers, perform division with decimal numbers. So what I usually have students do is read through your Chapter 9, and then I watch this lecture on some of the examples. So multiplication is going to be often indicated by an X. So if you look here, of course you have the X here with 5 times 5 as your example. It's inserted between the two numbers. Another way to indicate multiplication is separated adjacent numbers, of course, by your parentheses. And I've shown you an example of that right here. 5 times 5, and each adjacent number is got parentheses around it. And then multiplication can also be indicated by a dot. Okay, so those are some examples of that. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply the decimal numbers as if they were whole numbers. You line up the decimal numbers to the right in the same way you would if there were no decimal points. Start at the right side and multiply each digit in the top number by each digit in the bottom number. Add the product resulting from multiplying each digit, of course, of the bottom number. Place the decimal point in the answer so that the number of the decimal places in the answer equals the total number of decimal places in both numbers that were multiplied together. Okay, so first example here, if you go to page 61, in number 1, you have your 0.6 times 0.7. If you notice in your instructions, it says you can use a calculator to convert the following. So, or you can do it out by hand. So I'll do these out by hand just to kind of give you some examples of that. So 0.6, 0.7, so you line them up. Okay, and then you just multiply it as if it was a whole number. So 6 times 7 is 42. Carry the 4. And then, of course, 7 times 0 would be 0, but then you add the 4 before. Because we're doing two numbers on the bottom row, you add a 0 for the second one. 0 times 6 will be 0. 0 times 0 will be 0. Okay, then you add those two numbers together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 0 is 4. And then 0. Okay. If you also notice here, you need to put a decimal down here at the bottom. So you have one decimal place here and one decimal place here, so that's 2. So then you just move your decimal place over 2 points, so 1, 2. And then it gives you your answer as 0.42. Next we have number 2, 0.3 times 0.8. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 8 times 0 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. We're going to mark this one out because we've already done that one. Next, we're going to do the second number. You got to have to add a 0. So 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. Add these two rows together. Come up with 0.24. Again, you have one decimal point here, one decimal place here. So you're going to move it over 2. 1, 2. So your answer is 0.24. Okay, next we have number 5. We have 2.7 times 8. Just line it up like we did before. So 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus your 5 would be 21. And again, figure out how many decimal places you have. And you have one here and you don't have any here. So you just move it over one decimal place. So then your answer is 21.6. Number 41, our formula changes just a little bit here. So this is over on page 66. So all you do here, they already have it lined up for you, but you're going to just multiply. So 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 will be 5. Okay, now we're going to do the second number. So we're going to add a 0 here. 4 times 4 is 16. We're going to add a 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2, plus 1 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. And 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Okay, then we're going to add them up. 8 plus 0 is 8, 6 plus 4 would be 10, carry a 1. 9 plus 8 plus 1 would be 18, carry the 1. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 would be 13. 3 plus 1 would be 4. 5 plus 1 would be 6, 0, and then 1. Okay, so now we look to see how many decimal places we have. Down at the bottom, you had 1 here. At the top, you had 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 decimal places we need to move ours to. So we start over here and you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So then your number is 1,064 and 3,808. Okay, now another example. So they're wanting you to take your decimals and divide them. So this is on that page 67, number 48. So it's 32.12 divided by 2. And again, that you'll do the same thing. You're just going to divide. So 2 divided into 3 will be 1 time. Bring down 1 times 2 is 2. And you have a remainder of 1. So then you're going to bring down your 2. 6 times 2 would be 12. 0, 1, bring down your 1. 2 doesn't go into 1, so we'd have a 0, and then we're going to bring down the 2. So we have 12. Again, 6 times 2 would be 12. And so we have an even number there. So for 48, your number right now is 1,606, but we have to add our decimals places in. So if you notice you don't have none here, over here you have 1, 2 decimal places. Okay, so then you just go 1, 2, and your number is actually 16.06. You get into practice problems through this chapter. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I have some open lab time on Wednesdays where I can help you with some of these problems, and I have some time on Monday as well too. So if you have questions or have any problems with them, just give me an email, send me an email, and we'll make an appointment for you to come in.